All right, welcome back, folks. We're diving deep today into one of the market's hottest names, Advanced Micro Devices, AMD. After a massive run-up and some serious buzz, the big question on everyone's mind is, has AMD hit its stride, or is there more fuel in the tank? We're about to break it all down, step by step. So, what's everyone saying about AMD right now? The market narrative is pretty clear. AI, AI, AI. AMD is riding a massive wave of optimism, primarily driven by its strategic positioning in the red-hot AI chip market. The recent OpenAI partnership, as you might have seen in the news, is a huge validation for their MI300X and MI300A accelerators. Management's latest guidance already points to robust data center segment growth, but let's be honest, the market narrative has really amplified these expectations, pushing the stock into overdrive. Everyone's wondering if AMD can truly compete with the big dogs in the AI arena. For those new to the game, Advanced Micro Devices, or AMD, is a global semiconductor powerhouse. They operate in two main segments: computing and graphics, which covers your CPUs and GPUs for desktops and notebooks like Ryzen and Radeon, and enterprise, embedded, and semi-custom, which includes their data center and professional GPUs, server processors like EPYC, and custom chips for game consoles. Basically, they're in the brains of a huge chunk of our digital world. They've been around since 1969, headquartered in Santa Clara, California, and are a key player in powering everything from your gaming PC to the most advanced data centers. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty, how we reconcile all this market hype with the actual numbers. The market's enthusiasm, fueled by those big AI wins like OpenAI, has undoubtedly supercharged expectations beyond just what AMD's official guidance implies. Our analysis takes this into account, acknowledging the powerful tailwinds but also considering the potential speed bumps. First up, our base case, which we're giving a 45% probability. This scenario assumes AMD continues to capitalize on its AI momentum, with that OpenAI partnership being a huge validation for its MI300X accelerators. Management's guidance already shows robust data center growth and strong overall revenue performance. We're projecting next year's EPS growth at a solid 32.25%, bringing next year's projected EPS to about $2.30. When we apply a healthy forward PE multiple of 95, reflecting its position as a key AI enabler without being at peak valuation, we arrive at a fair value of $218.50 per share. This probability is higher because even though the stock is currently overextended, strong fundamentals and the critical $200 support level, which we'll discuss in the charts, suggest the stock is likely to consolidate above this point, making this a very plausible outcome. Next, our bull case with a 35% probability. This is where AMD really shines. We envision them significantly exceeding AI market share expectations, securing even more major AI contracts beyond OpenAI, and flawlessly executing their MI300X roadmap. This would lead to accelerated EPS growth, a whopping 42% for next year, taking projected EPS to $2.47. With a slightly higher PE multiple of 91.9, reflecting significantly higher growth, we get a fair value of $227 per share. We're assigning this a substantial probability because if that crucial $200 support holds, the technical analysis points directly to a move towards $227 as the next resistance, aligning perfectly with this bullish outlook. And finally, the bear case, which we're giving a 20% probability. Here, we assume intense competition, particularly from NVIDIA, leading to slower-than-expected AI market share gains for AMD. Macroeconomic headwinds could also hit their traditional PC, gaming, and embedded segments. Throw in some execution risks or production delays, and performance could definitely suffer. In this scenario, we project a moderated 20% EPS growth for next year, bringing EPS to $2.08. Applying a more conservative forward PE multiple of 81.32 due to reduced growth expectations and increased risk gives us a fair value of $170 per share. This probability, while lower, is critically important because, as the technicals clearly show, if the stock breaks that $200 support level, it could fall to fill the gap, finding support right around that $170 mark. All right, let's pull up the chart because the technicals are telling a very important story here. After that massive gap up we saw, the AMD price is looking a bit overextended, and honestly, it's likely to return to a key support level of $200. This is the make or break line, folks. If that $200 support holds firm, the next resistance level we're looking at is $227. But, and this is a big but, if that $200 support breaks, then the price could definitely fall further to fill that gap, with the next significant support coming in around $170. So, keep a very close eye on that $200 mark. So, is AMD a buy? Based on our weighted scenario analysis, where we give a 45% chance to the base case, 35% to the bull case, and 20% to the bear case, we're looking at a probability-weighted fair value around $211. This suggests that while the stock might be a bit stretched in the short term, especially after its recent run, the long-term investment thesis driven by AI remains robust. I wouldn't call the absolute buy just yet if you're looking for a quick flip, but for long-term investors, the story is still very compelling. The critical $200 technical level is key. Holding that affirms the current narrative and opens the door to higher prices, but breaking it would be a clear signal to be cautious. Given our analysis, I'd say the levels to watch for potential entry or adding to your position are around the $200 mark. If the stock dips to $200 and holds, that's a strong technical confirmation. If the market gets a bit more volatile and we see a stronger pullback, the $170 level would represent a fantastic buying opportunity, aligning with our bear case fair value, but with a much lower probability of occurring based on current fundamentals. Remember, patience is key. That's it for our deep dive into AMD. What do you think? Is AMD going to skyrocket, or is a pullback inevitable? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this analysis helpful, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next episode. All right, a quick but very important disclaimer. All information presented in this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. Investing in the stock market involves substantial risk, and you could lose money. Always do your own due diligence, consult with a qualified financial professional, and never invest more than you can afford to lose. This is just my opinion, based on my analysis.